Senior Vice President Investment, 830 Politico commentator. Time for Hot Topic. The economy under President Trump's second term showing promise after better than expected read of third quarter GDP 4.3% nearing 5%, something inactive already and Associates founder Louis Navellier told Maria would happen just last week. Watch. Greater than what is your assessment of the macrostory? How do you want to be vested in 2026? Greater than 5% GDP growth, 3.5 to 3.8 going to be revising up because trade numbers, the trade deficit's lowest in 5 years, exports second highest ever, recorded low oil prices, so that is going to big up revisions, a lot of growth onshoring but even, and data centers. But if you look at data centers order backlogs up 20% quarter over quarter, we're going to end new year with enter hit a 5% GDP growth. Jackie, The Wall Street Journal, reporting about the Trump rebound, claiming it could be most underreported story of the year. James Freeman writing, quote, today brings more evidence the benefits of the president regulator income tax reduction over edge when cost of trade, taxes perhaps year position most underreported story. Mr. Trump took office during a quarter when the economy was shrinking and in 2 quarters since presided over robust growth. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent once again reiterating what is to would come in new year. Here he is on a podcast reflecting on the year that was. Greater than I would categorize 2025 some important victory, policy announcements, important movement, but as I described it, 2025 was setting the table and especially on the economy. I think the feast banquet he is in 2026. Greater than meanwhile, White House Council Economic Advisories finding just how different economic life is between red and blue states. New report from past 12 months shows overall inflation in conservative states is lower than it is in liberal states. Your reaction, Michael? Makes sense to me. Policy dictates economics, and so, therefore lower prices, lower inflation in states more conservative. Michael? True. Take a minute, look back. Started this year, the Congress was razor thin majority for the Republicans. A lot of people said that Donald Trump would not get his agenda through. Obviously, we've had lots of controversy about this, but he has. You take a look at markets in March 9 months ago, WHO he had a sell off the Dow 37. Now, 4.8. Nobody predicted that movement except Donald Trump, the administration. And now, again, because of the things put in place with the big, beautiful bill, we have this great momentum going into 2026. This is awesome. Still, imperative to point out policies that policies that aren't working. The inflation numbers talked about indicate that the policies of the blue states are not working as well as policies for the red states. And that's something that has to be addressed. Economic vi totality, all Americans, not political state, red or blue. Greater than people asked me, Jamie, what am I expecting for 2026, following markets, the economy, drive closely. I say I don't have a crystal ball, but I can tell you this year, even though turbulent, was better than last 4 years we experienced under Joe Biden, and if Trump's economic agenda comes together as expected, then 2026 should be quite prosperous. Your thoughts? Greater than my goodness, this year has been incredibly busy for me. I mean, the president sets the tempo, runs at a very high rate. Everything he is doing, he is sort of responds with that. If you think about what happened, transpired, tariff regime, immigration reform, the big large tax cut, the permanence of the first Trump tax cuts getting started, infrastructure boom, trillions of dollars investment, has been amazing amount of work that has been done in the last 10 MNS, and I don't think if really over yet. I think this is just the beginning, and you can see, there's a reason why the stock market is at all-time highs, because you see resurgence of growth, not just maybe, it is actually real because the numbers are actually playing it out. I don't think that is going to change. In fact, 2026 probably going to get a little bit better. You know, when US grows, the rest of the world grows. You are seeing not just here but everywhere. Investors are actually making money in the entire market with most stocks, most companies. Wasn't the case last couple years when isolated to 7 or 8 companies. Different circumstance, sectors really doing gel, industrials, materials, financials, you name, doing it well. A reason for it, because policies that are being put in place promote growth. When you see growth, you make money. When you make money, it feeds on itself. The virtuous cycle, wealth effect, real happening to people right now, seeing in consumption, in spending, people get out noto SMENG like they do. I think that is going to continue. Jackie, one of the things that contributed to volatility this year was tariff policies. What we saw in stock market in April, after Liberation Day, but how tariff policies evolved throughout the year. Inflation never came way. Democrats said it would. Inflation now 2.7% according to the last CPI reading. This growth, 4.3% for the first Third quarter first print on third quarter GDP pretty incredible, so you see it sometimes policy takes a long time to kind of come together. Michael, I have the is not just the tariffs in general revenue that they've negotiated also putting US back in charge, on the global stage whether the economicings of it or foreign policy aspect of it we were losing foothold. Michael, when you take a look how media portrayed economic agenda for this administration always been within incredibly negative output, ever no way, tariffs are going to destroy the economy, look at sell-off. There's what people should really be expecting now is that this is taking time doesn't happen overnight but if you put into place long-term economic guardrails so you put things together, it